Welcome to the Silent Thinking Podcast, a space to slow down, breathe, and reconnect.
Today I'm reading from Walking the Path,
Journey by Dr.
A Leader's
McNally.
By
Dr.
reflective
Keith
story
McNally.
about the inner
A
journey
reflective
of
story
leadership.
about the inner journey
Episode
of
3.
leadership.
Just listen
and let the stillness
support you.
The story
John
continues.
walked home after talking with
The
Jose.
next day,
It felt
John
more
sat
like
on
a
his bed
meeting
after dinner.
than a conversation.
He could hardly wait to jump
among
back into the
friends.
journal.
In
As
fact,
he started reading,
it
he
felt
wondered
like the most
what
grown-up
life must have been
conversation
like for
he
Jose's
ever
great-grandfather, Juan.
and as a result,
In the journal
he
he
felt
read,
strangely different.
When I
Not that he
started,
was different,
I didn't
but
know how
something
much
was
about
different.
climbing
Normally,
a mountain.
he just stops by to
My
chat
biggest
with
worries
Jose.
were not freezing to
John
death
would share
and not
what was on
starving
his
to
mind,
death.
and Jose would listen.
I didn't want to leave,
Today felt like a meeting
but with my
at his
failing
dad's
health,
farm.
I was not
It
sure
went from open
how long
disclosure
that was going to
to a
be.
planning session.
Maybe
As a
I was
result,
afraid of dying.
John felt different
I laugh
and
at
empowered.
that thought now.
And if he
But for
dug a
some
bit
reason,
deeper into his emotions,
Once I settled on the
he felt
idea of
comforted.
climbing the mountain,
Jose
I
has
wanted to
always
do
been
it.
a great mentor.
I wanted to
Now
see
John
what
felt
was
that
on
he
the
was
other
more of a
side.
friend. John felt
I was not
appreciated
concerned
and
about
understood,
being attacked by an animal.
and this made him
Although
feel
now
powerful,
that I
at
reflect
least
on
for
it,
the time being.
I should have been more concerned
When he
about
arrived
that.
home, John
Really,
walked straight to
I
his
wasn't
bedroom,
concerned with any possible
via
dangers,
kickstop
which is
in the
weird.
kitchen to check
I just
if
didn't
anyone
want
was
to
up and
die
about.
from my own stupidity.
It was close to dinner time,
Like I said,
and his mother
not
should be
freezing
busy
and not
prepping.
starving were my
What's for
biggest
dinner?
worries.
John asked his mother.
Once I
As she
decided
labored, making
that
some
leaving
dough.
was best for my family,
Something you
I was
like,
restless.
his mother said.
I
Chicken
know I
pot
was
pie.
leaving my wife
Do you
and
need any
teenage
help?
children with my
He asked in
family.
response.
They would be
Not
okay.
right now, his mother
The stigma
replied.
of living
It's
with a
almost finished.
failure was probably worse
We'll be eating soon.
than living without
But I
him.
appreciate you asking.
I
But you
didn't
could
want
set
to
the
cause
table.
my family any more
She
grief.
turned her attention back to the washing.
For whoever is reading this,
Oh,
you may
have you
already
seen
know
your sister?
and understand
No, Ma,
the stigma
John said. I
associated
check upstairs.
with not being able
When
to
John
meet your
landed on the second
expectations.
floor of the house, he
Of
kept
course,
quiet.
those are
Not that he
probably the
wanted to dismiss his
expectations
mother's
set on
request.
you from someone
He
else.
just wanted
I
to
could
get
say
into
more
his
on this
bedroom
idea,
without being
but
heard.
not right now.
At the threshold,
The people in
he
this
turned
valley
around quietly
can be the
to
nicest
see
people
if his sister
and
was
best of
around.
friends. That
if she
is,
was up in her room, she
until
normally
you
bothered
don't
him
act
by
the way
asking a
they
bunch
expect
of
you to act.
questions. Where were
And the
you?
reason
What
doesn't
were you
matter.
doing? Those types
Conformity
of questions.
is what
He
matters.
was not in the mood for
And
it
when
right
my
now.
brother had to
He
start
wanted
helping
to
me
open the journal
take care
and
of my
start
family,
reading.
and my
He heard
wife
no one,
had to start
but for
working
some
to make
reason,
some extra
he
money,
still felt the need to close his
people
bedroom door
started
quietly.
to take
Maybe
notice.
he was overreacting
They
on a
started
subconscious
talking.
level, but he felt
I
that he
didn't
was in the
need to
possession
hear them
of
say
some top
anything.
secret information
I
that
knew
he had
what
just
they were
had
saying.
to keep undercover.
I've heard them talk about
At the
other
very
people.
least,
Now
he did
they were talking
need
about
to
me.
keep it secret from those in
I
his
was
family.
too young
No one needed to know
not to be
that
working.
Jose's great-grandfather
But the
did
truth
cross
was
over
that
the
my body
mountains
was not
and came
able
back
to do the
safely.
things I
Maybe
did
later,
once.
much later, but
I
not
was
now.
accused of being lazy
John
and
climbed
handicapped.
quietly onto his bed.
Things got worse
and
for me
removed the journal
from
from
several
his
different
backpack.
angles all at
He was
once.
still in awe
People
of the
started
book,
accusing me of things
although
I
it
didn't
looked even
do.
older now that
They
he had full
started picking on
possession
my
of it.
children.
John wondered
My son told
where
me
Jose
how
kept the
mean
book.
they were to him,
Hidden somewhere
especially
safe,
the
of
other
course,
kids.
John thought.
The teasing
He almost whispered
escalated
these words
to the
aloud,
point
but
that my
caught
own
himself.
son said he
He
hated
tended
me.
to say things
That's
aloud
what
when he got
broke me.
excited.
And I
But
knew
now was
I
time
had
for
to leave.
secrecy. Now was
I
time
set
for
my
quiet.
mind to leave.
John opened the
I
journal
told no
and
one but my
started reading.
wife, and it broke
It's
her
now
heart.
morning. As
I was hurting
expected,
her if
there
I
is a path
stayed
through the
or if I
trees.
went.
The
There was
path is
no
overgrown
easy
with
decision to
bushes
make.
and dense foliage.
The lesser of two
there is a
evils
path.
was to leave.
I walked until I could no longer
Thinking
follow the
back,
path.
maybe
last
I
night.
should have left
Then I
long
set up
before I
camp.
did.
I
But
just
once the
finished
pressure
eating,
became
and it's
too
time to
great on
pack
my
up and
family,
continue the hike.
I started planning
It feels
in haste.
weird to be on my
I
own.
was thinking about
More to
surviving
the
the
fact
trip
that it
over
feels
the
weird to be
mountains
by
by
myself.
myself.
There's no
My
one
thoughts
around
were
me.
on survival.
As far as I know,
I needed to
no one
hunt
is following
and
me.
fish.
Why would they?
I need to bring some
I
dried
really
meats
don't
and
expect
cheeses.
too many problems
I
crossing
had to
the
stay
mountains.
warm.
If I'm
I was
lucky,
going to make
I'm
it
sure
over the mountain.
I'll be able to make it in a few months.
Just
I
to
don't
live a
expect I
life
have
of
to climb too
solitude.
high either.
That was
The
my
path should
only
lead
real
me
thought.
around, but not up.
Were there other
The
people on
scary
the
thing
other
is not
side?
knowing what's on the
I
other
didn't
side.
know.
But
No one
that's
knew.
what I'm here to find out.
No one cared to know.
Well, time to get
It
going.
wasn't even
Lots of walking
something
today.
anyone talked about.
John skimmed through some other
But that
pages
was not as
and
important
read much of the same.
as just surviving
Jose's great-grandfather took writing in his journal
as long as I could.
rather seriously.
So within a month,
But much
I
of the
was ready
beginning
to go.
was tracking his food rations
One night,
and the
after
distance
the
covered.
kids went to bed,
I guess this
I
is
kissed my
important
wife
for
goodbye.
planning purposes, John thought.
I look back at the moment
this point,
and I
the
wonder
book
what
had
was
little
really
more
happening in my
information.
life.
At the same
What was I
time,
doing?
John wanted to read more.
Why was I so sad
He was
in my
literally
thoughts?
reading another
Was that really
person's
me?
account of
Or
what
was there
everyone
something
said was
bigger at play
impossible.
that I was not aware
John
of?
wrestled with the idea
Today,
of
I
jumping to the
believe
end
there were
and gave
greater
into
forces
temptation.
interacting with my life.
He read some words
What
about
was
becoming a
happening
different
needed
person,
to happen.
personal transformation,
I couldn't
and being
explain
given
it
a
then.
gift.
I might be
John
able
was
to explain it
inspired
now.
by what he read.
I intend to
Jose's
explain it.
great-grandfather
I
was
will try
inspiring
to
him to
explain
break
it.
free of his fears.
To
Thinking
whoever
about
is reading
what might be
this,
possible,
maybe you are
rather than just
experiencing the
dreaming
same
about
thing
it,
in your life.
was a new experience.
John paused
Until now,
and pondered
crossing
the
over
words
the mountains
he read in the
and blazing
journal.
a new path in
Jose's
his
great-grandfather
life was just
must
a
have
dream.
felt so alone.
Now it seemed that
The
the dream
words
could
caused
become a
John to
reality.
reflect upon his own
John
life.
smiled.
He too
For the next
felt
few days,
all
the
alone.
conversation with Jose
Mostly
and the
anyway.
words written in the journal
Without
weighed
Jose,
heavily
John
on
would
John's
be
mind.
alone.
There
Liz
was
was a
work to
friend
do on the
and someone
farm,
he
so he
trusted,
could not grab Jose's
but he
attention.
never
In
completely
fact,
disclosed
Jose
his
was
soul to
on,
her.
off on a task,
Not like
and
he
would be
has with
gone for a
Jose.
day or more.
Jose
So when
opened
his
up
mind
new thoughts
wandered,
and
he thought
ideas,
of what he needed to
new
do to
worlds
prepare
even.
for his trek.
He helped John think differently about things.
More and more, John wished
And this
that
helped
Jose
him
would
grow
change
as
his
a young
mind and
boy.
come with him.
Now
He
he
did
had
not
to
want
make the
to lose
transition into
one man he
manhood.
trusted most.
He had to
And
face the
Jose
world
was
as an
smart
adult.
and wise.
He was
One
not
of John's
sure.
fears
He
was
knew
doing
how.
the wrong thing. There was
John
a little to
continued
no
to read
room
from the
for error
journal.
on this journey.
For a
Even
long
if he
time,
knew exactly
I was by
how
myself in the
Jose's
mountains.
great-grandfather
I never
made the journey.
experienced such loneliness as
He
when
would
I
have
was
to
in the
walk in
mountains.
this man's footsteps.
To be clear
from
on
decades
context,
ago.
I was alone for
How
many
was
weeks in my
that
journeys.
even possible?
At least I
John
was physically
wanted
alone.
assurance. He wanted
No
to
one
know
from the valley
that he
joined
was
me
doing
in
the
my
right
trek
thing.
over the mountains.
And he wanted to
I
do
found
things
loneliness
the right way.
to be a depressing
Too much, he
experience.
thought, was at stake.
It was in stark
It was
contrast to
encouraging to
life
know
in the valley.
that Jose's
The
great-grandfather
valley is full of
could
people,
make it over
and even when
back
you
again.
travel from region to region across the valley, you will
That
find
one
someone to
thought
talk
gave John
along the
hope.
way.
And he
This was
needed
not the
hope.
case in the mountains,
Jose's words
and
came
it
back
felt
to his
eerie.
mind. Read his story,
In that time,
Jose
however,
said. Then
I
read it
learned
again. Get
that
to know
I was
my
not truly
great-grandfather.
alone.
Even
Again, this
I
is
did not
difficult
know
to
him,
explain
but
using
through
only
the
words
words
on a
his
page.
journal, I
The
could feel him
experiences
speak
I
to
had
me.
told me that I was
Open up
never
your heart,
really
John.
alone,
Let
at
my
least not from a
great-grandfather speak to you
spiritual
as well.
or even emotional sense.
Initially, John thought little about
Somehow,
how
I felt the
important
presence of
Jose's
my
request
wife
was.
and sometimes
But
even
for
my
some reason,
kids,
the
but
words
to a
began
lesser
to haunt him,
extent.
as if
I
there
did
was a
not see
deeper meaning to
anything
it
or
all.
anyone.
The
I
words
only
echoed
knew
in his head,
that when I
and
needed
the more he
someone with
thought
me,
about it, the
someone
more
was.
intense the words became.
Over time,
Jose's
I began to
great-grandfather
recognize my life
must have been
from two
quite a man.
different perspectives.
So much so,
The first
John began to
perspective was
envision
my
this
inner
man
thoughts.
as some type of
I will
hero.
add my emotions
He was
to this
brave
inner
enough to do
being
something
component as
no one
well.
else had done. And
I
he
was
succeeded.
both full of
Additionally,
thoughts
he came back and shared his
and
adventures
emotion
with the
throughout my
world.
journey.
And now John
But there were also
had
my
the only written
experiences with the
record
world
of this
around
journey.
me. As I
John's
spent
thoughts
more
quickly
time
turned
alone,
sour again.
my
For
personal
some
universe
reason,
grew
his
very
thoughts
small.
raced through
But as
all
my
the possible
perspective
things
of
that
myself
could go wrong
changed,
on his trek.
so did my
He so wanted
experiences
join
with the outer
Jose
world.
to join him.
My world
The more he
grew
thought about it,
little
the
by
more
little.
internal
The
conversations
earth
he was
did not
having with
grow,
Jose to
but my
convince him
personal
that
world
it was
did.
the right thing to do. Having
At some
someone to
point,
talk
when
to
I
would
was
be
all
nice,
alone,
but he was
I probably
concerned
began
mostly
to
with
go
actually
crazy,
making the trip.
meaning I
He
started
wanted to
talking
live.
to myself
He wanted to
aloud.
survive the trek.
I began speaking the
It was all
thoughts I
the
was having.
unknowns that scared him.
To some degree,
The
it was
what-ifs
comforting
kept
to hear
popping up in
someone
his head.
talk.
What if I do get
Also,
injured?
since I was spending
What
so
if I
much
can
time alone,
can't
I was afraid
hunt
that I would
or
forget
shoot
how
my
to
bow?
speak
What
if I
if?
stopped
There
altogether.
were a lot of what ifs.
But
So
that that was when strange things began to happen. Well, they didn't happen immediately. They happened slowly, over time.
What if some of the stories of the mountains
but
were
the patterns
true?
that I
What
began
if
to
there were
experience
monsters?
became more
No one really
consistent.
went to the mountains,
My
maybe a
thoughts
mile,
became my
but I'm
words,
actually into
and my
up the
words became my
mountains.
reality.
Again, he shook his
I
head
do
and
not know
forced his thoughts
when
away.
I first made the
To
connection,
change his thinking
but it
and to
eventually
raise his
connected.
spirits, he thought all of the
John
gear he
closed the
needed to
journal
bring
and
with
pondered
him.
what he read.
He grabbed his own journal
Sometime next
and
day,
pencil
Liz went to
and
visit
began
Jose.
to write.
The two had talked
Bowie
before,
knife,
but not
bow
on
and
a regular
rose,
or consistent
sleeping
basis.
bag, blanket,
Even without
change of
this,
clothes.
Jose knew
When his
Liz
brain
well
got
enough.
tired of thinking,
John talked
he
about
closed
her,
his
of
notebook
course,
and hid
but
it
she also
deep in
worked on
his
the farm
bag.
from time to time,
Now he
whenever
had
she
to
needed extra
plan
money
his escape.
and had the time.
A few days later,
Today,
John
however,
met up with Liz
she had
after
something
work.
very
He
serious to
told
talk
his
about.
parents that he was meeting Liz for
But
dinner
why would he
near
do
the woods
this?
by
Liz
the
asked.
park on the lake.
Some
They
people have a
obliged
restless
but told
spirit,
him
Jose
not to be
said.
late.
They don't want to feel
When they
trapped,
arrived, they purchased some
contained
sandwiches from
by
the
some
deli
unseen
and grabbed a
force.
bench close to the water.
Trapped,
John
Liz
was trying
said.
to act normally.
How
His
could he
thoughts
feel
were
trapped?
elsewhere.
I can't answer that
But he liked
question,
Liz
Jose
and
said.
didn't want to upset
But there's
her.
no stopping
He had
him,
mentioned the
and you
mountains in
should
previous
not try to
conversations,
stop him.
but only as a
Do
wide
you want
idea.
me to encourage him?
Today
Liz
his
asked.
tone was a bit more somber.
Jose looked sternly at Liz.
Ever wonder what's on
If
the
you
other
try
side
to
of the
stop him,
mountains?
he will
John
resent
asked.
you,
No,
and that will
Liz
tear
said.
him up
Why
inside.
do you keep bringing
The
this
two of
subject
you have
up?
been friends for a
I don't
long
know,
time.
John said, trying to
That's
hide
right,
his
Liz
feelings.
said.
Don't you just
And he's
wonder
talking about
sometimes?
leaving.
Don't you just give
He talks
yourself
about
permission
climbing
to
over
wonder
the mountains
what's
almost
on the
weekly.
other side
He's
of the
probably
mountains?
thinking about it right now. He's not leaving
What is
you,
that supposed
Jose
to
said
mean?
calmly.
Liz asked, a bit
If
annoyed.
he walks up that
I
mountain,
mean, John
he
started,
will be, Liz
everyone
added.
in this valley
He
never
doesn't want
talks
to
about
leave you, Jose
going
added.
over the mountains.
But he will die on the
Everyone is just
inside
okay with being
if he
here.
must stay here
Doesn't
because
that
of
bother
you.
No,
It is a difficult
Liz said.
decision for him.
Why should it?
He knows
It
what
just
he
seems
needs
weird,
to do,
John
Jose
said.
posed.
No,
You
Liz
will lose a
retorted.
good friend if he
You
stays
keep talking
or
about
if he
going
goes
over the
alone.
mountain is weird.
What are you
The
saying?
words were spoken
Liz
before
asked.
she thought about
Do you want me
what
to
she
go
said.
with him?
I'm sorry,
I
she
did
said
not say
sheepishly.
that, Jose added.
I didn't mean.
I cannot tell you to do
Her
one
words
thing
trailed off.
or another.
John turned his head.
You told
He
John
held
it
his
was
head
okay
down,
for him
looking
to climb the
blindly at the
mountain
ground.
and go on this
Honestly,
crazy
Liz said,
journey.
I didn't mean
Liz
that.
said challengingly.
Do you think I'm weird?
Let me
John
be
asked
clear,
slowly.
Jose said.
I just
I'm
wish
John's
you would
friend.
stop talking about going
Maybe
over
the
the
only
mountains,
one he trusts.
Liz said.
I will support him
But,
if he
John
stays
started
or if he
again.
goes.
Do you
But
think
I
I'm weird?
understand his
No,
heart.
Liz said calmly.
He will not stay
I don't
here.
think you're weird.
His heart does
But you keep
not
on
belong
talking about
here in the
climbing the
valley.
mountains.
And I
It's
cannot
just not
stop him from
something I'm
leaving.
comfortable talking about.
I can only advise him
Why not?
on what he
John
should
asked.
do.
Because
So what
nobody
am I
talks
to do?
about it, Liz said.
Liz asked, confused.
I'm sure
If I
I'm
were
not
to
the
tell
only
you
person
what to do
curious
is
about
in your heart,
what's on the
Jose
other
began,
side, John
would
said
you still
solemnly.
follow your heart?
Yes,
Or
Liz
would you
started.
turn from it?
You are the
I
only
dare
person I know who
not
talks
tell you
about
what
it.
you should
Liz
do.
paused and thought.
Why not?
Weird things
Liz
leaving
asked.
the mountains.
I'm torn.
What are
And
you
I
talking
do
about?
not know what
John
to do.
scratched his head. Whoever said that weird
Why
things
are you
leaving
torn?
the mountains?
Jose asked.
I just don't
Because
like
I
talking
do
about
not know
it,
what
Liz
to
said
do,
at last.
Liz said, starting to
Well,
cry.
John said,
But
someday
you know what your heart is
I want
telling
to find
you,
out
Jose
if there's
stated
anything on the
firmly.
other side.
You have
Why?
learned to listen to
Liz
your
said.
heart. John
Why
is
would you do
only
that?
now learning to do
Liz
this
began to
very
cry.
thing.
Why are you
Yes,
crying?
Liz
John
replied.
asked.
But
I'm not
climbing
crying,
over the
Liz
mountains,
said sternly.
that's crazy.
She quickly
He'll never
rubbed her
survive.
cheeks with the back of her
Nobody
hands.
has ever done
I'm
it.
not trying to
Why
make you
would
cry,
anyone
John
want
said.
to?
I'm just curious.
Please,
His voice
Jose
became
said.
solemn.
Most people are
just curious.
comfortable with the
His voice
same.
faded.
Most
The two
people are
sat there at the park
comfortable
bench
with what
quietly
they
for
know.
some time thereafter.
Very few are
Although the
willing
weather
to
was
step out
still
of that
warm,
comfort
Liz
and
shivered,
take risks.
then wrapped her arms around
John is
himself.
one of those few people.
Are you okay? John
He
asked.
has an adventurous spirit,
Yeah, Liz said.
and his
Just
heart
a
is
little
pure.
cold.
He
They sat
knows
there again for some
the
time.
risks ahead of him,
John thought the silence
and he would
was
have left
uncomfortable.
already if
But
he
it was
thought
Liz who
the
decided
time
to
was
act.
right.
I think I'm
His
going
heart
home, Liz
is
said.
telling him to
Without
wait.
saying another word,
To
she got up,
wait?
took the rest of
Liz
her
said.
sandwich, and
Wait
walked
for
away.
what?
John got
I
up
do not
to
know
follow
for
her.
sure,
Don't go.
Jose added.
I just
I
want
only
to go
know
home, Liz
that when his heart tells him to go, he will begin his journey.
John sat back down
At that
and watched
point,
Liz back walk
nothing will
said
be
nothing
able to
more,
stop
but watched
him.
her as far as he could
Then
until she
I
turned the
will lose him
corner at the
forever,
park's
Liz
edge
said.
toward her home.
Jose did not respond, nor did he look in Liz's direction. His heart too was heavy. John was a son to him. Yes, it was time to allow his son to grow up and become a man. This is no easy step for a father, for even a father loses a part of himself when his son becomes a man.
Might need a little stillness too.
You still have some time to think about what you should do, Jose said at last. Thank you for sharing this quiet moment with me.
Welcome to the Silent
If this
Thinking
brought you
Podcast.
peace, please subscribe to my YouTube channel, like the video,
Today
and
I'm
share it
reading
with
from
someone
Walking the Path,
who might need
A Leader's Journey by Dr.
too.
McNally.
Until next
A
time,
reflective story
keep
about the inner journey
listening
of leadership.
inward.
Episode 3. Just listen